Hi there, it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. How are you today, this Tuesday morning? This is when I would normally go live, but I'm currently on a cruise ship in Norway, so I can't be here. So, today, if you saw Simple Stamping Saturday, we're going to replicate this card. So, let me show you what I am using. Because I'm not using the same papers. Well, I stamped those. So I'm going to be using this paper, which is Masterfully made. It's from page 102 in the new annual catalogue. It's gorgeous paper, maybe a little challenging, but it is gorgeous. This is a paper share waiting to go out, or actually two paper shares waiting to go out. So let me show you the A sides first, and then I will show you the B sides. That way, yes it is. There are lots of colours. Oops, no, it's that way. Lots and lots of colours in this paper. It is, for me, this is stunning paper. The B sides are, some of them are in inverted commas plain, so they look as if they are embossed or printed. There's white core, all sorts, but really lovely backgrounds. Perfect for scrapbooking. Floral. This makes up a full sheet. More floral and more of that torn and embossed look. The colours are colours that I wouldn't normally thought would go together, but they work. So we've got Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Pumpkin Pie and Sweet Sorbet. So, like I say, colours you wouldn't automatically think would work. I'm going to start with a Peacock Pie base, and I'm going to do my scoring first, so we've got that out of the way because it is a little challenging. I have tried very hard to do the measurements in both imperial and metric, and I'm not sure that I've succeeded. So I'm going to work on metric because this is metric card, and I'm going to recheck my measurements for imperial. I am not doing them for North American cardstock. I'm just putting that out there. This is for A4, international A4 card. So this is a standard half sheet of card, she says, checking. Yes, it is half a sheet. So the first things we're going to do is score these two lines and cut between them. So I want to score at 5 1/4, well, 5.25 actually. So 5.25 centimetres from both ends, or from each end, whichever is grammatically correct. That seems to be right at 2 1/16 inch, which is what I'd written down. Then, with the short side at the top, we're going to cut at 1.5 inches or 3.75 centimetres, but only between these two score lines. So I'm going to pop my blade roughly where it needs to be, put my guide down, push my blade in, and then push it up to the next score line. It needs to go a little bit further. You can see on the side where it needs to go. So, as I say, 1.5 inches or 3.75 centimetres. So between the score lines, line my blade up with where I need to start and push it to that second score line. And again, I'm being a little tentative because I don't want to shoot off the end. There we go. So those are our first two measurements. 5 1/4 in, 3.75 or 1.5 up. Now, next we need to do some partial scoring. So I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way because I don't need it anymore. So the next one is to score these two panels in half at 10.5. So again, I'm going to start in the middle and go out. So that's where, if it was a standard card, we would just fold it in half. These panels, this panel, we need to score so that it's like this. So we've got these two bits here to do. I'm just going to double check that measurement, because this is where I've recorded this once already and it went horribly wrong at this moment. So that is 2.5 centimetres from there, or let's measure 7.8 and a little bit, which is probably where I went wrong. Yep, 7.8-ish. 7.8, 7, yeah. So, 7.8-ish. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to push up, flip round, 7.8-ish, which is 3 1/16. Oh, that's where I went wrong on my little scribbly bit. 3 1/16. I put 1/8. No wonder it was wrong. So coming down, that's why it didn't work. So that is our scoring and cutting done, and hopefully this time it will all fold beautifully. So let's see. This is the easy bit. That's an easy fold. That's an easy fold. These middle ones are easy, as in these two top and bottom. Just put them in place, trying not to bend that at the same time. And then these two side panels also come up. And this is the moment of truth. It worked! So that's what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to lay it flat. This is a little lumpy with that up. Probably will work the other way, thereabouts. But it will still fit in the envelope, which is what we want it to do. Right, so that's that done. Okay, let me stamp my image. I don't have the stamp set that goes with this paper yet. It's, as I'm filming this, whoops, got the stamps out already. As I'm filming this, it's on its way from Germany, due to arrive yesterday, your time. I'm going to use Melon Mambo and Lemon Lime Twist. I know, I'm being very brave, putting these two colours together. So I'm going to do the flowers in Melon Mambo, and I am going to clean this stamp quite quickly after I have stamped, because Melon Mambo has a tendency to stain photopolymer stamps. Ooh! Let's not throw that down my front. Fortunately, it didn't bounce on the paper. Let's close that. Bring my Stampin' Scrub in, which has already got Stampin' Mist on it. And it's a little pink, but it's not too bad. I'm happy with that. So that's that. Then we've got Lemon Lime Twist for the foliage and the centre of the flowers. Now, it's the centre of the flowers you need to concentrate on, because this is a two-step stamp, so you want to line up the centre of your flowers, probably of that one and that one, so they are as far apart as you can get them. And if those two line up, everything else should, famous last words, line up. Hold your breath. Yes! Love it when it works. Okay, let's clean that stamp, and then we can close our ink pad. Now, I can do a bit of a Blue Peter moment for those of you who understand that. I have already die cut my stamped image. So this is using the largest of the dies from the Stylish Shapes, largest of the square dies from the Stylish Shapes. Let me get that out so you can see. So it's this die here that I've used. on my prototype, i.e. the one I did for Simple Stamping Saturday, it fitted. Let's see if it fits on this one. If it doesn't, I can just cut it manually. Is that the one I want to keep? Yes, it is. Right, so this does fit in that gap with just a hair's breadth round it, which is what I wanted. Okay, so let's flatten that out. We don't need the stamp set anymore. I have pre-cut my pieces so we can put this all together. As I say, the measurements are over on my website. There's a link to the post for this project in the description bar. So we've got 2 side panels, and then we've got the middle panels and these bits here. These are minor. So we have got, and I'm starting with Melon Mambo at the bottom, then Lemon Lime Twist, then the paper. So you want 2 of these panels. Where's my measurements? There they are. 2 of these panels cut at 14.2 by 4.8 or 5 5/8 by 1 7/8. So 2 of those. Then you want 4 of these, which are the ones to fill these gaps, and they are 4.8 or 1 7/8 by. Ooh, I didn't write it down. By 3.5 or 1 3/8 of an inch. And then you've got 2 of these little pieces which will go either side there, and these are 7 centimeters or 2 3/4 inches by 7/8 of an inch or 2.2 centimeters. Then we've got the same kind of setup for Lemon Lime Twist, but not including the strips. I'm not worrying about those. So these are 4.5 by 13.9 or 1 3/4 by 5.5. So again, these are 1 3/4 by or 4.5, and they are 3.1 centimeters or 1 1.25 inches. And then the paper is 4.2 by 13.6 or 1 5/8 by 5 3/8. And the little bits are 4.2 or 1 5/8 by 1 1/8 or 2.8 centimeters. You don't need to write them down though, because they're on my website. Let's see if it works. Always fun to see if these things work in practice. So I'm just going to run, I'm going to mostly use liquid adhesive because it's quick and it gives you that little bit of wiggle room. So I'm going to put the paper on first. And I thought if I did a slightly longer project where I would normally do a live, that will help fill your expectation of how long you're going to be with me. And I love that I have people who join from Australia, America, Canada, the continent of Europe, Ireland, all over. So now I'm not convinced that there's an up and a down for this paper. All I would say is look at the shadows and make sure that on both sides they're falling in the same direction. Ooh, and for those of you who did watch Simple Stamping Saturday, or rather read the write-up on my website but didn't watch the video, because I do admit where I went wrong on the video, did you spot my deliberate mistake on the prototype for this card? Because it was real rookie stuff. I mean, real rookie, and I had no idea I'd done it until right at the last minute. Should I put you out of your misery if you didn't know what I'd done wrong? shall I make you watch the video? I'll put this together and then I'll let you in on the secret. Right, so these little pieces, and again you kind of want to make sure that if you've got shadows that they are running in the same direction. I cut all of the small pieces from one long bit, which obviously, but basically what I mean is I cut the width and the width and then cut them to length, because you can get all of your pieces cut really quickly if you do the width first. You then just have to chop off the amount you need. So they all just lined up. Obviously not there because that doesn't match, but these were originally all one strip, as were the melon mambo and the lemon lime twist. So that went there, that went there. Now if you wanted to be really classy, you could of course cut the pieces as if they were how they're laid out in the card. So you'd have the pattern running all the way across. Not very, it uses a lot of card. So yes, that came, or paper, that came from there. Right, melon mambo. I hope that makes sense. I'm waffling away, assuming that I'm making sense, and because this is recorded, I have no idea whether you're going, Liz, you are completely mad. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's complete bunkum. You are speaking a foreign language. That could be what you're saying. Tell me in the comments below the description bar if that's what you're thinking. If you're thinking, Liz, I knew you were mad, but now I absolutely know you're mad. So by the time you watch this, I will have been to this year's Rock the Moor, which, COVID permitting, I have done with my brother and sister-in-law for, oh gosh, this will be our 4th time. There was the hiatus of the pandemic in the middle of that. And this year we've got the Boomtown Rats and Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. They OMD are the headline act, but the Boomtown Rats are there as well apparently, and Kim Wilde and all sorts of people to pow. So if you're into your 80s rock, it's just pop and rock. Right, so these were the two extreme ends of, so this panel went down the middle. I thought if I kept them separate, I was less likely to get worried about patterns. So I've got the shadows falling that way. So I need the shadows falling the same way that side. That's perfect. Okay, and then I'll worry about the side bits in a minute. So this is quite a challenging colour scheme. I mean, the pattern on the paper is quite a challenging colour scheme, and I have to say I kind of deliberately went for let's continue the challenge. I did toy with Berry Burst and then decided that Melon Mambo used to be one of my favourite colours, so let's give it another go. And when I say used to be, I mean I've been a demonstrator for nearly 7 years. About 6-7 years ago, Melon Mambo was one of my favourite colours. It was probably our brightest pink at that point. Right, okay, so we've got the shadows coming this way, so I need to make sure that they are still, that's fine, because that's the same as that. That needs to turn over. that needs to turn over, and that goes that way. Right. So if you want somewhere to write, which, you know, novel, have a card that's got somewhere to write, I would put some white card on the panels, these two side panels, on the back of the two side panels, I should say. Now it's quite nice if you can get these to line up. It does mean you're quite close to the cut edge, but I'd rather that than have them way out of line. And because I'm using the liquid adhesive, I do get that wiggle room, which sometimes I do need my wiggle room. So at the point of filming this, the forecast for where we're going in Norway is horrible. Cold, wet. Don't mind cold, don't like wet. But fortunately the friend that I'm going with, she and I are fairly similar in our thoughts about when something just isn't fun from a dampness point of view. So I think it'll be fine. Right, so these pieces go down the edges here. You don't need to put these on, it just looked a little bare without them. And again, I'm trying to line up that cut edge and the top and bottom cut edges, and that liquid glue is letting me do it. Go. Right, so how much space have we got? We've got enough to put a small panel on. Have I got? I thought I'd left out a piece of... I have left out a piece of lemon lime twist. It's there. Right, so this I need to trim down a wee bit. That much. Before I start. So let's just take that bit off and see if that fits in that space, and it does. So that means I can stick my die cut onto this panel with the hair's breadth of a border and then just trim this one off. Now, I don't like the look of liquid adhesive onto white card. I think it casts a shadow onto the opposite side of the white card. So I'm going to use... Ooh, I don't like that corner. Ooh, I don't much like that corner. This one's not as bad. I've got bruised corners. That's about it. And I'm going to bring my chopper in because it's slightly easier, famous last words, to trim. I think I've got a bit skew-whiff at the bottom, but it's fine. I have got lemon lime twist sticking out, but only just. Right, now it doesn't matter which way up the pattern is, but I think I'm going to have it that way, and that's the clue. So on this one, this has writing on the stamp that I use for the background, and here you can read it, and here it's upside down. Basically I stuck this panel on upside down. Happy day. So I'm going to add my adhesive to this panel here, because then I know that I've got my glue where I need it and not hanging off the edges. Whereas if I put the glue on the back of this piece, I'm either going to put it too narrow or too wide. With this flat, I want to kind of get this piece central and away from the cut edge. And that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to turn it over, give it a really good press with my bone folder. This is where I would put white panels. And that is our finished card. Well, I say it's our finished card, but it hasn't got any bling. These adhesive back sequins trio coincidentally are the ones that I used on my original card, and coincidentally go with this suite. They are part of the suite. So I'm going to pick this pink. I don't know what colour it is. Let's see what colour it claims to be. So it's the adhesive back sequin trio. So let's find them. It's this one, number 9. Pretty Peacock, Berry Burst and White. So it's Berry Burst, not Melon Mambo. But I don't think it's Berry Burst, frankly. I think it's just pink. So let's add some little clusters of sequins. I'll go down there. And go here. Oop. Another large one. And I like my 3s. I'm going to go, eeny, meeny, miny, I'm going to go up there. There's a bit more space up there. There we go. So there is our finished card. It's really bright, and why not? And it sits quite happily on the table. And this is the one that I made previously. So pretty much the two extremes, really soft and gentle and really loud. Anyway, let me flip the camera back up and then I can say goodbye properly. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a look at the measurements over on my website. I hope I have now sorted them out, even if I've done it on the video. Hey ho. So thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will be back with another recorded video on Thursday, and all things being equal, if I've got enough time, simple stamping on Saturday. Thank you very much indeed. See you very soon, and have fun until then. Bye for now.